Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. For today's episode, we'll be taking a closer look at the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figure, Mettlehead. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this robotic bad boy. Alright, so here we have the robotic turtle himself, Mettlehead. Okay, as you can see, I couldn't wait and I already took him out of the package. But here's a look at the back of his box anyways. Here's a little look at his display card. You can see that he's Team Turtles right here, and his main weapon is the flamethrower. You can pause it right now if you guys want to fully read this. This little screenshot right here is actually taken from the show. I got this guy before his episode came out, and I saw the episode that featured him, and it was really neat to see this actual feature or that scene pop up. I'm like, oh, that's where they got it from. Not too many new characters coming out with the second line. As far as the good guys goes, just adding Mettlehead to the good guy roster. And for the bad guys, you're having Fish Face and Dog Pound. This is kind of nice that they're adding more villains. Going to round that out eventually. If this line keeps on going, we'll have a look at one of the, like how the old Ninja Turtle boxes used to be in the past, where it just had their little heads, because the whole back would just be filled with characters. But more on that in another review. Now, I've always had a thing for robots, and the Mettlehead from the original 80s line was one of my most favorite characters and figures to play with. And if many of you remember from my Donatello review, the back of his box said that he was the creator of Mettlehead. So you remember just how much I was hoping that this guy would actually come out. Well, I could honestly say I was literally shaking when I found out he was in toy stores. I immediately went out and hit all the places I could think of to find this guy. And it took me about a week, but I finally tracked him down at Walmart. At the time, it was a lucky find, and he was the only one in the whole store. Alright, now I couldn't actually find my original Mettlehead in time to do this review, but when I find the original one and do a review on him, I will have a comparison of the two. What can I say about this guy? I really like him. Despite the few little nitpicky flaws, I just really love this character, and I think he's done the Mettlehead name justice a lot better than the 90s Fox Kids animated series, where they weren't even able to call that turtle Mettlehead, and they called him Robot Turtle. Another thing, well, I'm not really sure where to start, actually, with just because I love this guy so much. He's actually going to be one of the few guys that's I'm going to have just permanently displayed on my shelf for all time. Anyways, as you can see, he's a robotic turtle. He's has these little components up on the top. Right here in the show, this is actually a little area that Donnie or the guys would press to have him do different things. So there was a nice little feature that was added in here. He has different little decals on here. You can see that there's a little temperature gauge, or a little temperature warning right there saying that this arm is hot. And you have a standard like arrow on this side. So you can definitely tell that he's cobbled together from different things, although still a pretty nice bit of construction. He was made from the different Krang parts, as so said in the show. And this is a nice feature here. His shell is actually a manhole cover. You could say New York City right there. It really gives a feel that Donnie just grabbed whatever he could to like kind of bang this guy out and make him look as turtley as possible. Where should I start with now? Another thing that the original Mettlehead didn't have is he didn't have a headband on his head, and this is actually a feature that I really like on this guy. I do wish they could have painted the sides to have it go all the way back. I might be customizing this guy and giving him a new paint job, but just so you know, and so I'll probably be continuing that on towards the end. But anyways, I like that there's a mask band here. It makes him feel more like, yeah, he's part of the Ninja Turtles, or part of the Turtle team, because they all have masks too. And the fact that I like that it's yellow, because, well, everyone else has their own colors, he has his own color too. It really stands out, and the yellow actually also matches with his pseudo elbow pads and knee pads right here. One of the things that the original Mettlehead had, he didn't appear all that much in the show. I hope this guy actually does make several more appearances, because he is one of my favorite characters. But the original Mettlehead was, he had the personalities of all four turtles, and so that kind of got annoying whenever he could talk. This guy, he doesn't seem to have any, he's a remote-controlled character, so Donnie kind of more remotely pilots him in the episode, so he doesn't actually have any personality as of yet, but well, we'll see how things go. Now his head's actually on a ball swivel right here, which at first I thought, well, I'll get to that later. At first I thought it would have been nice to have light piping, which like the original Mettlehead had. Like you could have had this as a little screen right here, a little blue right here, and then you could have had the light eyes shine through. But then I realized that would have gotten away in the ball swivel joint that he has here. So the one major complaint that I would have had is, or nitpick that I would have liked to see, I would have ruined the toy or figure for it. So I don't know what I was thinking. His arms are very limited articulation. They can only go up and down, and then his forearms can swivel around here. He doesn't have any elbow articulation, which now that is my only other complaint, is because all the other turtles have multi points of articulation on the arms and legs. It would have been nice to have him do this so he could get in some nice cool poses. But what can I do? What can I say? I still like the character. Now he has. I've seen other reviews. He has a little missile that comes out here, a little flamethrower missile. But this one is one that you kind of have to flick out with your finger. And honestly, I really don't mind, because what other people have said is that this way, that there's no spring in here that makes the arm too big or bulky. That's one of the things I really hate, is when they actually attach missile shooting gimmicks in the actual figure and then the proportions are all off. But anyways, you don't have any fear of it accidentally firing or that the spring wearing out over time, and the distance is related to how much you can actually flick it. I think I got an actual good 3 feet or 2.5 feet with this little missile, just firing it, so that's pretty good range. Anyways, now his legs actually have a lot more articulation. They have little swivels here. You can go side to side, up and down, and then he has knee articulation here. So that's actually a nice little feature. You can kind of get him in some good sitting, or let me see, can I get him in any other pose? Not really, but you can kind of get him in some kicking poses, but he can't really stand all that much anyways. But he's a robot character, so he's pretty much going to be a stiff fighter. Actually, the episode that he was in, he really kind of just stood there and just beat the crap out of people as they try to attack him. So he's pretty tough. His legs down here are hollow, and he has the little pegs for stands. Actually, I wish they would actually make some stands for these guys. That way I could get him in a nice kicking pose or something like that. But yeah, I just love pretty much everything about this guy. Nice to see that he has wiring down in here. Paint doesn't, the brown paint for here ends at the back here. Well, I can't really complain about that, because I'm sure it's going to be too hard for anybody to get in there to paint anything. But man, this guy's I love this little guy. Now he is a little bit shorter than a lot of the other turtles. I don't have them with me right now. I'm actually currently doing a custom paint job on the 4 turtles, but he's actually just about as tall as Mikey, if anyone has that figure or knows kind of knows the height of that guy. So the turtles do range in different heights, and that kind of fits, because after seeing him in the show, he was actually a lot shorter than the rest of the turtles, which was a little bit of a disappointment. I would have liked him to be the same size, but then again, thinking about it, he's made from what parts they could salvage, so of course he's not going to be that big. But anyways, this has been a look at the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mettlehead. Try to find him on stores if you can. He might actually, over time, there might be more of them out there, but right now, he's a pretty sought-after character, so good luck finding him.
Once again, thank you for watching. If you like what you've seen today, please feel free to subscribe or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.